Now, without further ado, I must request Mr. Sanjay Agrawal, Secretary, Department of Agriculture, Cooperation and Farmers Welfare, for his inaugural address. Mr. Agrawal is electrical engineer with his specialization focusing on different dimensions of agriculture. He has very rich experience with his past linkages with NABARD and also with Agriculture Research and Education Department. He is here since October 2018. Sir, you have the floor.
Excellency, South African High Commissioner, Mr. Ben Joubert, the brain behind this roundtable, Mr. Professor Sachin, Ismail, representative of Africa, Nafis, and participants roundtable. At the outset, I would like to compliment this effort, and I am very pleased to be here just 2 days before Mr. Peter DG Crisat had met me, and he had a 1-hour meeting with me, and the purpose of that meeting was how can we leverage ICRISAT presence in India, in Hyderabad, their office in India, and the presence in South Africa for South-South collaboration. And then we have a conference here. And this shows a basic effort and basic focus on South-South cooperation. In the current speech, I will talk about 3 aspects, or 3 or 4 aspects, which Ismail has also touched on this thing. Number 1, what is being done right now in terms of partnership, in terms of agri sector between India and South African countries, what the opportunities are there, and what the way forward possibility could be. India attaches major importance in terms of partnership with South African countries. And right now, apart from partnership for different activities, as a focus for agriculture, we have bilateral cooperation MOUs with 11 African countries. And for 5 countries, it is in the pipeline in the final stages, and hopefully in this calendar year, those partnerships signed. These 5 countries are Equatorial Guinea, Egypt, Angola, Lesotho, and Niger. So basically, around 16 countries will be having a bilateral partnership, where for agri sector, we have a different forums, different activities. And I'm pleased to inform that Honorable Excellency would be knowing it, he was a catalyst for all those things. South African Joint Working Group was held in the month of January, I think, with a visit of Honorable President there. And it was not only a joint working group which happened, it was followed up by with a visit of African people there. They went to an institute called Manage and a different IPM institute. And in terms of extension facility, that was followed up. So apart from bilateral thing, number 2, which activity, which is there right now in the pipeline, which is based as part of USAID program. India, we have 2 major institutes. One is NIPAM. NIPAM is basically National Institute for Plant Health Management. And second, the Manage Institute, which is an institute for nodal institute, premium institute for the country in terms of extension. So partnership with the USAID for different countries, different courses are run for executives for agriculture who are working in African countries in terms of their empowerment and everything. And I'm pleased to inform over the years that around 65 executives of 20 countries have been empowered as a part of training in these programs, and this thing I think is very good. Third partnership, which is right now, which is going on, is in terms of a Africa-South Asia bridge for systems approaches for land restoration. And it is being run by Evergreening Global Alliance and Indian NARA, which is National Rainfed Authority. And very close participation taking place, and last conference happened, around 30 African countries were represented there. And apart from the conference there, exchange of ideas and exchange of knowledge and everything. I think it was followed up by the visit of brilliant people and everything. So their formal systems are being working. And if we see India and South African, Africa countries, I think challenges have been more or less similar. In India, around 48% land is rain-fed, and in terms of we see land quality and in terms of irrigation facilities in Africa area, it becomes more or less similar. In terms of what Ismail was talking about, in terms of land resources, in terms of land holdings, small land holdings, India, around 86% farmers have a small land holding, which I think accounts for more or less similar pattern for this thing. And I was seeing the presentation of Mr. Ismail where the gap between production, requirement of rice and everything was shown. I think India has gone a long way in terms of this thing after Grand Revolution, everything. There was food shortages long time back and after Green Revolution, and which Professor also mentioned, Chaturvedi. Yesterday was basically a Commerce Minister meeting with all the private stakeholders, state government and Agriculture Department. And focus was how to increase export of agricultural commodities. And apart from food sufficiency, we have moved now for export of agricultural commodities. And I'm pleased to inform that last year export of Indian agricultural commodities and activities were to the tune of $38 billion US, and India is targeting to increase it to $60 billion US by 2022 and $100 billion US thereafter. So now issue of food surplus, food productions and all capacities have come in over the time, and things have increased into the food surpluses. And if you see the years from 15-16 to downward, in country the food inflation is much lower as compared to normal inflation. And this was a basic purpose why income support scheme of major farmers was launched by Honorable Prime Minister in terms of income support to the farmers. It was a big scheme to the tune of $10 billion US. It announced to all the farmers now. So basically, and apart from this thing, now we have moved from the food aspect, food for all. Nutrition value has also become very, very important for the country. And I recall Honorable Prime Minister made a statement in Ranchi in, I think, 2015. India consumption of pulses were around 23 million metric ton every year, and production used to be around 16 million metric ton, and that year prices of pulses had shot up because of certain non-availability of pulses for imported thing. And only Prime Minister made a call that we should go for self-sufficiency with this thing, pulses. Making a call and followed up by the proper policy statement for this thing in terms of MSP, minimum support price, in terms of 50% plus of market surplus have taken place in this thing. Proper seed, proper extension to the farmers. I am pleased to inform that within 3 years now India is self-sufficient pulses also. And last year we increased the program wherein as a part of pulses procured that were distributed into the public distribution system, where the persons of not below poverty line can get pulses at very subsidized rate, which was rate around less than 50% market price. So from the food sufficiency, now we are going for nutrition sufficiency. And Ismail had made up in the presentation 4 or 5 aspects were there: regional varieties, good varieties, capacity building, value chain marketing system, modernizing agriculture, policy reforms, digital ICT, private sector involvement. I think if we see past 10 to 15 years, there has been major involvement in all these aspects. I will not go into all the aspects of this thing, but I briefly touch of the important aspects which become an opportunity for partnership with the countries. Resilient varieties and development. India has a rich institutions in terms of 74 universities. And when I talk of universities, one thing I would like to add here also, there is a program called ITEC program, where people of Africa, students of Africa can come as a part in these universities for education. So as a part of university thing, as a partnership with IRI, I think IRI partnership in terms of different varieties of rice, especially where the flood area used to come in, the varieties which were introduced through partnership with IRI. Large number of seed varieties came in, and apart from that thing, zero-based national farming, which major thing has been coming in Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka and further state in terms of climate resilient, and seed variety. I think last number knowledge bank has been created in the country. When Mr. Ismail was talking about in terms of price gap between the farmers, field, what they get and what the market price are there. And these challenges India has also faced long back. And we started concept of ENAM. ENAM is basically integrating a market through an electronic platform. And never the farmer could think that he or she can sell a produce through a mandi. Mandi is a place we call in Hindi, where farmers begin to produce for marketing. And it was sale normally was there to the people who were in the mandi also. So farmers opportunity to sell the produce was only for the people in the mandi. Over the last 2-3 years, this has transited based on technology platform, electronic platform. Now the farmers when being the produce, it changed from the mandi to all the mandis of the state, and then for interstate trade. And right now in last calendar year, which is 18, farmers, there were 7 to 8 states where farmers used to sell the produce. In fact, there is a case where farmers Rajasthan produce on an auction basis through this platform was sold to a state in Telangana, which is 2 states jumping everything. So these are the opportunity in terms of marketing platform, technology platform where you can take for everything. India and Honorable Prime Minister launched a major scheme which I mentioned before of income transfer to the farmers, which is called PM Kisan Yojana. And that created a lot of opportunity in terms of creating a data bank for the farmers, and India is working on a data bank for the farmers, wherein land records computerization, and with the land record computerization, large number of states have a GPS mapping of the land of the farmers also. And with the GPS mapping of land is there, and with a partnership with different agencies globally, could be IBM, could be different weather agencies, you can tell the farmers what type of weather is expected in 15 days, 20 days, 30 days problem for the fall. Actually to the field, the farmers could go to the place. And similarly, a major program in terms of soil health card improvement, and around 140 million farmers, around 110 million farmers got a soil health card, wherein through a matrix of scientific system where soil health was evaluated and everything. So different activities in terms of policy intervention, in terms of digital thing, and private sector involvement is very much there. So activities are there. The big story of success for India is there. And it's not the first time in the forum I'm talking. I've talked in one of the forums before. I will repeat the same thing again here. So in different forums, the need for a partnership established. So we need not discuss on that thing. There is a possibility, a big opportunity of South-South cooperation. What sort of activities can be identified is also identified, which are required, which are need of Africa. But the major thing which is required, I think the roundtable should deliberate on that thing in front of other sessions. How this partnership should develop, how this exchange of knowledge should develop, in what field it should develop. Certain things I will mention, 4 to 5 things were mentioned by Ismail as a part of this thing. And last he said question mark was put up there. I will not repeat what he has said. I like to the question mark what he has mentioned this thing. We, as mentioned before, we have bilateral partnership with 11 countries of Africa in terms of agricultural activities, and 5 in the pipeline, which I hopefully will be signed in this calendar year. In Africa is very good. There are different forums which are there, and those forums have been, as far as I know, are very active, and you will be knowing much more for this thing. Could be a solidarity fund, could be there, different forums are there which are working for this thing. Taking a partnership, getting seed variety or seed input, or doing a marketing thing with every of the countries in terms of partnership dilutes the effort to a much larger extent. In case a forum or a body can decide, could identify a country where for this country there will be partnership in terms of knowledge for the extension. In this country there is a partnership in terms of knowledge for digital ITC. In this country there is a partnership for machine technologization. This country there will be partnership for climate resilient varieties. This country could be capacity building. If some 3-4 activities known which are known identify the country, I assure on behalf of myself, my government of India and everything, a strong partnership, a strong systems will work out to go into develop and do a field trials and ensure, or could be how the seed variety are launched. India's ICR has done a tremendous job in terms of not only they launch a seed variety to the scientists, the system of KVK where this goes to the farmer's field in terms of demonstration. So in case countries can be identified as a part of forum wherein which sort of partnership are there, and that completely becomes showcase in terms of partnership, and ultimately that goes to different part of Africa, that becomes one of the good opportunity in terms of way forward. Second thing which I had in my mind, and in what one of the FPOs where we were interacting, and the large number of people of Indian farmers who have taken land in Africa, and I know a few of them in Punjab, and they are one of the best FPOs in the country. And I was interacting them, they had land in Nigeria, somebody had land in Senegal and all those things. So the people of Indian origin which are working there in terms of farmer extension activities, if those people can be identified, and through that extension activities can take place in terms of partnership in those forums, that becomes a great opportunity. Third, which I mentioned before also, the large number of IRRI international bodies, and especially ICRISAT. ICRISAT is a big opportunity because ICRISAT has a large amount of field of formation in their African countries, in terms of their manpower, in terms of manpower, and they are headquartered in Hyderabad. Now, partnership with the ICR, with the ICRISAT in Hyderabad through their offices, and ultimately knowledge transfer in terms of technology and everything to the field office of ICRISAT, there is a great opportunity where things can move in a faster domain and faster activity, and things can move. That a number of things, I assure you, whatever recommendations come as a part of the roundtable conference, I will request Professor Chaturvedi to please do inform us, and assure you on my behalf and confident behalf that shall be taken forward to ensure not only the deliberations, you all will put the effort today, will come to logical conclusion. With these words, I will be able to reassure that South-South cooperation and partnership with Indian African countries participation is an important agenda for the country and President Prime Minister and everybody. And for agricultural sector, we will not find lacking. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Agrawal, for this very encouraging address, and I think it falls very well within the overall priority. Those of us who heard the External Affairs Minister yesterday, one point that he made was that he is spending more time in Commerce Ministry and Finance than in External Affairs, which simply reflects the point that there is this cross-domain connect, and the line ministries have to play much more important role in shaping foreign policy than the Ministry of External Affairs anymore, and Prime Minister's effort in terms